Jury returns open verdict in coroner's inquest into popular Mandeville businessman Jason Neal's death. Hi again and welcome. This is Links 007 TV News Report, and we'll be right back with the full details to come. Welcome to Links 007 TV News Report, providing you with the best in local and international news updates. This is a place where you can get the most reliable and informative news information. Links 007 TV News Report. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is Links 007 TV News Report. A 7-member jury in the coroner's court has returned an open verdict in the inquest into the death of Mandeville businessman 33-year-old Jason Neal. The open verdict indicates that the jury found the evidence inconclusive in determining whether Neal's fatal gunshot wound was a result of murder or suicide. The inquest, which started almost 2 years ago, culminated in the Manchester Parish Court on Thursday. 30 minutes into the deliberation, the 7-member jury delivered its decision, an open verdict. Coroner Monique Harrison presided over the inquest. Justice Harrison told the court that the verdict effectively closes the case due to insufficient evidence, but noted that the matter could be reopened if new evidence emerges. Jason Neal, the proprietor of Neal's Auto on Ward Avenue in Mandeville, Manchester, was found shot to death in the bathroom of his home in the upscale Ingleside community on December 4, 2018. According to police reports, his then pregnant wife heard explosion around 7 a.m. and upon investigating, allegedly saw Neal on the floor with his licensed firearm beside him. He was later taken to the Mandeville Regional Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Initial reports concluded that he died by suicide. During the inquest, forensic analysts found no gunpowder residue on Neal's hand or the hands of his wife. Reacting to the open verdict, Neal's father, Bonnie, says he is pleased with the outcome. He believes that the verdict has cleared his son's name.
I'm Bonnie Neal, father of Jason Neal. Well, first I say my son's name was vindicated, and I'm glad we went this route to clear his name. So we can no longer say it was suicide. You know, I must say thanks to my lawyers. They were awesome, great, you know, and they did a wonderful job. No, it was rough, but we accept it. We accept the open decision by the court. We accept it.
My name is Christopher Honeywell. I'm an attorney at law and I represented the family of the deceased wife. Well, in matters of this nature, you're always expecting the unexpected in a court. The fact of the matter is that the evidence, the physical evidence that was raised by the policemen in particular, would have indicated that the verdict we submit should have been definitively suicide. However, the jury, in their estimation, felt that they did not see enough evidence that would convince them that it was either suicide
This has been Links 007 TV
homicide.
News Report. Thanks for watching.
One of the things I believe that might have borne heavily on their minds is the fact that neither the deceased nor his wife returned any positive traces of firearm residue on their hands. However, if you look back at the fact of the height that the police experts said that the gun would have been discharged, it indicated definitively that it would have been somebody sitting on the toilet seat or somebody stooping beside him. And if you reflect also on the fact that it was a contact wound and the suit was deposited right into the wound and there was a barrel mark on the head, then it clearly indicates that this was how the bullet would have been discharged from the gun into the deceased. Having said all of that, people, a jury of our peers of 7 have seen it. They never felt that they saw enough to make a conclusion one way or the other, and the matter, we believe, would have to rest right there. We accept the verdict for it. Well, that is the rule of the law, and in matters of this nature, you know that there is no statute of limitation on any kind of criminal process. So were evidence to emerge, then surely the matter could be reconvened. Reflect, however, on the fact that all of the government evidence gatherers and investigators in this matter have taken the preliminary estimation that this is indeed, by all appearances, a suicide. And the investigations have proceeded along that basis. So it is not in our expectation that there is likely to be anything emerging in the future to the contrary. Well, the matter has been painful to the family. They've been in many ways castigated in the public domain. They have, however, turned up in court and they've given their account of what they did on the day. And it is clear from what his wife and his extended family did that they extended all possible efforts that they could have to try to save Jason's life. So much so that they made sure that the police got there even ahead of any expectation of time, and that when he was being sent off to the hospital, he was still alive and with a desperate hope that he might have lived. It didn't happen and he passed, sadly enough. We wish that this can give them some closure, however, that the matter has been vindicated in court. A jury of their peers have deliberated on it, and we are certain, therefore, that no fingers are being pointed at them in terms of what they did or might not have done, despite what some of the comments in the public domain might have been.
Meanwhile, attorney Christopher Honeywell, who represented Jason's Neil widow and her family, also welcomed the verdict. Mr. Honeywell acknowledged the emotional toll the matter had taken on the widow and her family.